Good morning, everyone. My name is Kevin Lagore, and I'm the product specialist for Skywatcher here in North America. And welcome to the What's Up Webcast. We do this every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, right here at the Skywatcher USA YouTube channel. These are live, but they also are recorded. So if you ever miss it, or you want to go back and check out one of our topics, you can go back and always see what you missed, or maybe we covered a particular topic that you were interested in. You can always go back and check them out because they are recorded and saved here on our YouTube channel. So it's the end of 2020, and let me move myself out real quick because not a real big presentation today or anything like that. Today is going to be more about what our plans are for the webcast moving forward into the new year. Probably going to be asking you guys a bunch of questions today, so I look forward to seeing the chat kind of light up a little bit because we'd love your input as we move into a new year. We also have a couple of announcements I want to tell people about and our plans for this webcast as we continue forward. So at the beginning of this year, I'm sorry, before we get started real quick, for those who haven't been here before, welcome. This is the Skywatcher What's Up Webcast. We do this every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, right here at the Skywatcher USA YouTube channel. If you want to keep up with the new content that we post, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at support@skywatcherusa.com, and you can tile that email "What's Up" and let us know what you'd like to see, if there's something that we missed, or if there's an episode or a topic that we should cover in a future episode. You can follow us there and subscribe to the channel. It does help out quite a bit as this whole thing continues to grow. So I think we can all agree that 2020 has been a dumpster fire, and it's been a ridiculous year on so many levels, and I think many of us are glad to see it end. But one of the things that kind of spurred from this year is our What's Up Webcast, and now here we are. Next week will be the final episode of the year, and that wraps with 34 episodes. So earlier this year, February, before this whole pandemic started, there was no plans for Skywatcher to do a What's Up Webcast. There was no webcast talk at all. We were all keeping an eye on what was going to happen with the virus, but our plans at the time were to continue what we normally do. Go to our trade shows, go to the star parties that we normally go to, this, that, and the other. It was going to be a standard year for Skywatcher, and oh, what a year it has been, and it has not been a standard year. A lot of the events, pretty much all the events that we always try to attend, were canceled or delayed due to the COVID pandemic that's affected the whole world, and it's been a very strange year. So in light of that, we didn't want to stay away from people. We like interacting with our customers. We like attending events, seeing and talking to people. It was something that was important to us to continue being out in front of people. And so the What's Up Webcast kind of was just a spur of the moment thing that we're like, let's give it a go and see how this comes together. We had done live Q&As before on Facebook, and it was popular. People liked asking, checking in on us, and all that kind of fun stuff, but it was never something that at the beginning of the year that we ever planned to do. So it's nice that it's definitely grown into something more than that, and we're finding that a lot of people are actually enjoying it, and we want to keep that going. So with all that, here we are, end of the year, 34 episodes by next week. We've talked to a bunch of different people. We've covered all different kinds of topics, and we find that people are actually enjoying this, which is great. We're getting support from Sky and Telescope magazine. They're emailing this out. We're doing our own email blasts. And it's really been a positive thing, especially this year, because we haven't been able to attend a lot of our typical events. So I hope for those who have watched this webcast kind of evolve over the years, evolve over the last several months, have enjoyed it. And, you know, we are continuing this into 2021. We already have a lot of episodes planned, and we've got some speakers already lined up, our special guests, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But if there's an episode or a topic that you want us to cover, I really would be interested in hearing, our team would be interested in hearing what, you know, maybe we should cover. So if you have anything you'd like us to take a look at, just type that in the chat and we'll document that and see what we can do for future episodes. I know for starters, we're trying to make things a little bit more structured as far as the schedule goes. So starting in November, last month, we started doing the What's Up for the Month webcast. On the first Friday of each month, we are covering what's up in the night sky or what's going on up in the sky for the month. A big thing that we see, or I particularly see a lot of, you know, when I go on the forums or Facebook groups, is everyone's talking about equipment constantly. We're always talking shop. That's fun. What's your camera? What's your guide number? What's your blah, 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 blah? You know, all this fun stuff. But we find there's not a lot of talk about astronomy. So the first Friday of every month moving forward, unless, you know, there's something special that comes up, will be the, you know, what's up for the month. You can kind of expect that moving forward. We think that's a good way to start the month. So if there's something cool to go see, we're going to have that. We'll talk about the moon and the history of that full moon for the month. And maybe give you some new objects to, you know, go out and shoot or try to observe or whatever. So we'll definitely be continuing this. This is something we just started, like I said, last month. So we're going to continue that into the new year. So the first Friday of every month is going to be this What's Up for the Month. And that way we can start talking about astronomy itself and the objects that are visible and kind of get back to the actual root of why people are interested in the hobby to begin with. We can talk shop all day, and we have plenty of episodes where we are going to talk shop, but the first Friday of every month is, unless otherwise stated, is going to be the What's Up for the Month episode. We're going to take a look at that. Let's see. So some ideas that people are having, good apps for stargazing. Yeah, that's actually a really good one. There's several of them that we should actually bring up. So that's actually a really good one. We'll get that one down. Smartphone holders for telescopes, the good, the bad, the ugly. That's a good one too. You know, as smartphones start to advance, a lot more people are using them. Interview with some people that do stargazing, like Astro Bob. I will look into that. And then let's see, research where amateurs can contribute. That's a good one too. So those are some good ideas throughout the chat, throughout the episode today. If you've got any ideas, just throw them in there because we are writing them down. Let's see. Would be great to have some sessions on different eyepieces for different uses. Also the same for, yeah, that's a good one too. We're starting to do that with filters. There's some episodes that we have coming up. We talked about filters earlier this year, and people really liked kind of how a filter works and the wavelengths, but what people started to want was, how do I know what object to use that filter on? So we're going to talk about that actually. I think next month that's slated for the visual and imaging episodes. where we'll talk about, what do you use a hydrogen alpha for? What objects work good for a UHC filter? Light pollution, what objects are good for that? And how to kind of know when to deploy what filter. So we'll get into that as well. Oh, I like Ron's. Pick a constellation each month and review how to find it. That's a good one. Yeah, so I might have to squeeze that into the What's Up for the Month webcast. That's a good topic. Pick the monthly constellation. So we'll take a look at that. So that's always some cool stuff right there. Telescope automation, that's a good one. Remote control telescopes. We actually have a speaker lined up, I think in March. They're just finishing their remote observatory where people can host their telescopes out there. That's Skywatcher. Actually, we're putting the finishing touches on our remote system at this observatory complex. So hopefully in March, I think we're going to have the owner there, and we'll tell you the whole ins and outs of what it actually takes to do like remote and automation, because it's a lot of work, and it's not as simple as we thought it would be either. So that's actually already on the radar, probably sometime in spring. So let's take a look at that coming up. Now, of course, we do like to talk about gear and how to take pictures and observing. So those middle of the month dates, so not the first of the month, not the last Friday of the month, those middle of the month event or episodes are going to be talking shop. We'll be talking about gear and observing and astrophotography and helpful tips and tricks to do with stuff like that. I know we get a lot of people asking, how do I do, this? One that's just coming up a lot recently is, how do I make an ASI Air Pro work on my, Skywatcher mount? So we're going to check that out. Maybe we'll do an episode on how to do that. We'd like to do some more episodes on understanding some of the connections on some softwares. There's so many softwares out on the market right now, though, that it makes it really difficult for us to keep up with how to do everything. But, maybe we'll do episodes on certain softwares. I don't know. So there's some cool things out there. And obviously, as new equipment comes up as well, we do want to do special episodes where we announce new stuff so you guys can see it. We do have a lot of cool things that are not far from being finished for public release, so that's going to be kind of cool too. We really look forward to sharing some of those products once they become reality, and of course we'll do episodes on there, because the cool thing about releasing a product on the webcast here is that everyone gets to see it, and it's as much as I love going to shows and seeing people in person, which is awesome, not everybody can make it to a show geographically. It's difficult. So the webcasts are great ways for us to share new products as well. So I'm sure we'll be doing some of those as these products we're currently working on come closer to final production and release. So we'll be doing that. But yeah, there's a lot of topics that we can touch on. I see a lot more people are, checking in on that as well. Another one is, how about to show on how to do upkeep on an older, say, 10-year-old telescope? Yeah, I've thought about doing something about maintenance on a telescope. It just varies between types. So that's something we could take a look at too. That's a good option. Tonight's Best for different Bortle skies. That one's good. It's just complex. So I like the idea. I'd have to figure out how to kind of digest that for certain spots. I'll take a look at that as well. But all good things. Like I said, if you guys have any more ideas, just throw them there in the chat. This is kind of more of a Q&A throughout the entire episode, because we want to get ideas that maybe we didn't think about for episodes moving into 2021. So we're hoping next year is going to be kind of a big thing. destination places to go for stargazing. That's actually a good idea too. That'd be a cool episode to do. That'd be a big one. We could actually put together a bunch of stuff there. So that's going to be a really cool topic as well. So, but we definitely want to dig into more equipment based stuff as well, especially as we find new tips and tricks and things to simplify things moving forward. I know everyone now wants to automate things. I know people don't want to guide anymore. There's just so many new things people want to do, and we'll look into those and see if we can do episodes on the equipment based episodes to kind of give a better look at how to do it and hopefully make your imaging experience better and easier as well. Now, of course, the last Friday of every month we have our special guest speakers as well. And we've got a bunch of people that we're talking to right now that we're excited to have on. We have some people from NASA, an astronaut. We're trying to get maybe even a couple of them if I can pull the strings right. We have the director of Lowell Observatory, Jeff Hall, is scheduled at this point sometime in the early summer. I'm hoping we'll be talking to some national park rangers that work with a lot of the national parks and their astronomy outreach programs, stuff like that. So we want to talk to them. We have a pretty big list of people that we'd love to have on, and we're just trying to figure out how to squish all that in there. But it's already coming together for our guest speakers throughout the year. We're trying to rake as many people up as possible. Really, really cool people. We are trying to branch out from just what's in the telescope industry. We definitely want to have our friends on. Like this year, we had Trevor Jones from Astro Backyard. We had Mike Lockwood from Lockwood Custom Optics. We've had Vic Maris from Stellar View. And I think you'll see a lot more of that as well as this continues. We definitely want to branch out into more, even further into astronomy out there besides just the telescope industry, because there's a lot of really interesting people out there. So we've got some cool people already lined up and coming in and scheduling. Of course, we're going to have one of our good friends on who, like I said earlier, he hosts our remote telescope for Skywatcher that we're working on. We're going to have him on talking about probably early spring. He's probably going to be on talking about his facility. I don't want to give anything away because they haven't launched their official website yet, but we're going to have a friend of ours on talking about how you can set up a telescope remotely, what it's like to set up a remote facility, and some of the ins and outs of that type of work in the hobby, and how that can be done, because that's been quite a complex project. They're putting a remote system together, so we're going to have that. We'll have them on to talk about them. Next month, January, we've already got pinned down. Those are going to be our friends from Starizona. They're going to talk about their equipment, pretty much everything they manufacture. Of course, some of you might know they produce the Apex ED reducers that work on the Esprits. They have a wide range of other products. They're famous for the Hyperstar. So we're going to have them on as our special speakers in January. And I think we've got some cool stuff that we might announce then. Well, we're kind of working that out as well. So that's January. I know one of the larger goals that we have, and this really depends on how the pandemic is handled next year, is we want to start doing some on-site episodes where it's not just me, here. We actually want to go to places, go to observatories and actually do a webcast directly from the site there. So that's going to be kind of a cool thing. We're talking to some, of the facilities, observatories Maybe if we ever get back to star parties and we've got internet access out there, it'd be kind of cool to do, episodes from like Texas Star Party, because we go out there sometimes, or what have you. There's all kinds of things that we could do, but we definitely want to start doing some on-site or more remote webcasts where they're directly from the facility that we're talking to, so it kind of gives like an inside view to that location. So that's definitely something that we want to do as well. So that's obviously moving into next year, but that really depends on, pandemic kind of wraps up. Hopefully next year we can get towards the late part of next year. Maybe we can start doing some of our remote location episodes and figure out the logistics of how we do that. So I know we've talked, as you can see up on the screen, Alan Strauss from Mount Lemmon Sky Center. We've talked about doing an episode from like the Sky Center itself. They also handle the University of Arizona Mirror Lab, where the 8.4 meter mirrors are made. I'd love to do an episode from there. So there's all kinds of things that we're looking into doing as well. The 8.4 meter mirrors are made. I'd love to do an episode from there. So there's all kinds of things that we're looking into doing as well. We definitely, the whole goal of the What's Up webcast is education and outreach. It's really easy for a webcast like this to basically be a commercial. And of course, Skywatcher does own this webcast. It's our webcast. We could easily just talk about Skywatcher gear day in and day out. And we have little segments and episodes where we do, but we don't want everything to just be blatantly beating you over the head by Skywatcher all the time. There's so many cool things out there in the hobby. There's so many cool vendors that we're friends with. There's so many cool people out there that we want to try bringing this community to be bigger and more connected with one another. And you guys get to see some of the cool stuff that, maybe we get to see traveling around and meeting people during events and stuff like that. So we'd like to bring you along for the ride as well. And it's not just to be like, buy Skywatcher. If you want a Skywatcher telescope, call us up. We'll talk to you about it. We'll tell you what we find here. But we want this to be educational foremost, above everything else. Just something that's fun, and we can check out different applications in this hobby of ours. So that's really always been the goal of the What's Up webcast. It's never been to be some big advertisement. It's been education and community for it. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. Obviously you've seen we've kind of broken away from and talk to other vendors, even competitors of ours. But they're all friends of ours at the end of the day. They're all great people, and we're excited to have this time to basically talk about whatever we want. I know one thing that we're actually announcing today, and please keep in mind this is, it just went up, so we're going to be refining it a little bit, and we'll probably be adding to it here soon, but everything's available right now if that's what you want to jump into. But we've been asked to do this before, and it's something we've always wanted to do. So we're finally excited to announce that this morning, is we now have a Threadless t-shirt and kind of swag shop that's actually live now. This is it. So all these are shirts that our marketing teams designed. You can just go on there and kind of like the Draco shirt, you can go on there, you can pick your size and how nice of the shirt you want it to be, and they'll make it and they'll send that out to you. So those are just those are our new Threadless t-shirt account, where you can go onto the store right there and pretty much get your Skywatcher shirt. And we've got a couple collections at the moment. We have the Constellation collection, some of the major constellations up there. And then, of course, we have our equipment collection. And I'm sure as this continues moving forward, we're going to add new designs. I know there's talk about some other stuff too. Stuff, like jackets and socks. I know we've talked about that. Stuff that basically you can use when you're out stargazing or with your telescopes, keeping warm and stuff like that. So these are available right now. You can go onto the website right here. It's skywatcher.threadless.com. Let me get out of the way here so you guys can actually see the right up here. Skywatcher.threadless.com is the website link for that. You can go there right now and you can order any of those shirts that you'd like. This is just kind of a fun thing, so collect them all or get one that's really cool for you. Maybe you've got an Esprit or something and you want a shirt to go with your setup. I don't know, but that's new for 2021. It's launched this morning, so you can go on there right now and order whatever you want. Pick your size, pick how soft the shirt is. If you've never bought from Threadless before, I've done Threadless t-shirts for some of my outreach events for Focus Astronomy, but some of their shirts are actually quite nice, like they're extra soft and the triple blends. Those are very nice shirts actually, so you can get that made up right there. So that's kind of something new for 2021. I know right now telescopes are really difficult to come by, just because of how everything's been affected through the pandemic. Obviously, we're not running our typical holiday sale on equipment. So this is just something fun that we're launching. So something new to show you guys, and you can order these shirts up whenever you want. Pick your size, pick the style you want, and there you go. So something kind of neat, something kind of cool. Again, that is skywatcher.threadless.com is the website. You place the order there, and Threadless will then ship the shirt out of your choice. So, and I know they have some deal going on right now, some promotion. So the shirts are a little cheaper than they are normally. They're normally starting at $20. Some of them are discounted right now. So you do not call us up. If you've got questions, but you don't call us to order it. You just go to skywatcher.threadless.com. I'm sure we'll be putting these up on our social media channels after this is over. But you can go ahead and order those shirts if you think those are cool and that's something you want to add. So we've got a couple different ones available. Like I said, we have the Constellation series, which you can see right here. We got Perseus, Andromeda, Cassiopeia, Draco, Hercules, Pegasus. We purposefully avoided the astrology constellations at the moment, just because you go outside and with one of these and it's like it's a Taurus shirt, someone's gonna, oh, are you a Taurus? So we avoided that. So for now, maybe we'll do something like that in the future. We'll see. If you guys have ideas, throw them our way. And then of course you have the equipment series shirts. So if you're like super stoked that you own an EQ8 or something like that, and you want to wear a shirt that's got it on there, there you go, EQ8 shirt. So you can pick different colors. They come in this gray. You've got a darker gray. I guess they call that smoke. And then of course you have black. So that's just the Skywatcher thing right there. So we were planning to do this before the webcast was a thing. It's just now it's a thing, and they're all together at that point. So something neat. But yeah, if you want to order those, you have to go to skywatcher.threadless.com, not skywatcher.com. It's a separate thing and is handled by Threadless directly. So if you have any questions, let us know. But that is new for the end of the year here and 2021. And I'm sure we'll add new shirts and things as there's lots of plans. Our marketing team's got tons of plans to add new things, and we'll organize it a little bit better by collections and stuff as it advances, but that's just something there. So that's that. So that's our new little thing right there. But yeah, so the What's Up Webcast has really just been all about education and sharing, and we hope to continue that into 2021. We hope to take it on the road once things kind of start up again. So we'd really like to get out eventually once things are safe again. We'd like to do some of these virtually. The whole thing is virtually. So, obviously, but we'd like to do it from remote locations. So, going to observatories, things like that, and bringing you guys along for the ride there, because we know some of these facilities most people don't get to see. So we hope through the webcast that maybe we can have tours with something like that. And then, of course, as I said earlier, we've got special guests and things like that. So, like I said, January we have Star Arizona, Steve Koenig and Scott Tucker from Star Arizona. They're the two major minds behind a lot of their new products that they're coming out with. They'll be here talking about some of their reducers. Of course, they'll probably be talking about the Hyperstar, all their products, and hopefully we'll be talking. We might have a surprise on that episode as well. So do that. February is still in the works. We hope to have a NASA astronaut joining us from Texas in February, so that's still being planned on that one. March, special guest is, can't announce them yet because their business isn't launched completely yet, but we're going to be talking about remote facilities, how to set up a remote telescope, and automation, stuff like that. April's not officially pinned down yet, so I'm hoping to have a friend of mine, a park ranger, on to talk about national parks, but we're still working on April. We'll see if NEAF becomes a thing. I'm not exactly sure if NEAF is going to be a thing this year. I don't know. I have no knowledge of what's going on there, but it'd be cool to do a live webcast from NEAF. Would be really neat maybe in the future if that becomes a thing. That's usually in April, so we're waiting to see about that. To be determined. And then, of course, May, we already have Jeff Hall from Lowell Observatory. He's their director. We talk about Lowell Observatory, their new Godo deck observatory for outreach, and where Lowell is going from there. And then maybe some other guests from Lowell Observatory in the future. They've opened up saying they have some other special guests that we could be in touch with through them as well. And then, really the sky's the limit at that point. There's some people that we'd really like to get on. So there's all kinds of discussions at the moment of who we're planning to have on. We are talking to Alan Hale of Celestron. He's been there since almost the very beginning of Celestron's history. We want to have him on. I think that's more of just a scheduling thing at this point. So we've got a lot of cool people lined up or pending at this point for our special guests next year. So there's a lot of cool stuff for things like that. But we're definitely going to be have some really cool people on next year. And then we've got some good episodes that are planning. And from the chat, there's a lot of really good ideas that we might have to go back and move some stuff around for next year's episodes as well. I know a big one that I want to do is seeing conditions, understanding seeing conditions. We have a lot of people call in that say, well, my skies aren't that great, therefore I don't have good seeing. Really has nothing to do with darkness. So we want to do an episode on that. We have a lunar eclipse next year visible here in North America. We want to talk about how to photograph that and view that. And there's so many different things that we could do. I know there's some people asking about imaging and plate solving and image scale and things like that. There's so much that we could talk about there. So we're definitely going to be looking at that. There's a lot of options. I know we want to do one about optics and testing optics and what those numbers actually mean in reality. So like Strel, like what that actually means in reality as well. So lots of educational videos to better understand things. Because we want everybody to... We definitely want you to have a better understanding of what's important. So when you are out with your telescope or your equipment, what really is going to produce the best images, how you're going to get the sharpest images, that way you're not wasting time out there. And I don't want to say worry about, but what to focus on ultimately. A lot of people focus on certain things that really don't do you any good to get that shot. You're trying to get that picture that's awesome, but you worry too much about all these other things. So we're going to talk about what's important, what things to be cognizant about, and really staying focused on what you're trying to obtain there as well. So there's some really cool things in the works right now. So again, we appreciate you being along for the ride this year. It was something at the beginning of the year there was no plans for. And then, of course, when we started it, we were kind of like, okay, this will be kind of cool. We'll see how it goes. But now it's really branched off into a thing. I think it's pretty well rooted itself that this is something that we do, and people expect it now. So, and we expect it. It's been really kind of neat and something to look forward to. Getting to be able to talk to you guys every Friday is really fun, and hopefully you guys benefit from some of the topics, whether you're watching them live or you're going back and watching them again. I know they're hour episodes, so they're really long to kind of cut through. But we really appreciate you guys being here. It's made this year a little bit more fun, because Friday we could always look forward to hanging out with you guys here for an hour. Now, obviously this year hasn't panned out for the way a lot of us wanted it to, but, this is something that we look forward to every Friday. It's fun to hang out with you guys. It's fun to talk to you guys. And hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. So this is going to continue even once the world returns to normal. We just hope that once the world does return to normal, that we can actually kick everything up a notch further and really start to maybe expand the capabilities of what the webcast is and what it does. So we're just getting started on it, so we're definitely looking forward on basically taking you with us to hopefully events, star parties, checking stuff out that. I know we'd love to do like panels, like if we ever go to a big event again, I'd love to do some kind of panel with multiple vendors to sit down and talk to. So there's all kinds of cool stuff that we definitely are hoping to move forward on, and we definitely want to bring you on for the ride. And hopefully we'll see you guys in person again one day. Hopefully that's not too far in the future. But until then, the webcasts are definitely going to continue. We definitely love to have Trevor back on from Astro Backyard. I wouldn't mind squeaking him into the schedule next year just to see what he's doing, what he's up to. I know Trevor's always busy, but that was very popular for people to have on. We work with him. He still uses our stuff, so we'd love to have Trevor back on. We'll see if we can arrange that. Trevor's awesome. But there's all kinds of cool stuff. The sky is literally the limit, no pun intended. But we've got a lot of cool stuff planned, and you guys have just given us basically a collection of other things to consider too as well. So we'll definitely take those topics in mind and see if we can make an episode for that, or episodes for those topics moving forward. So lots of good ideas. I definitely appreciate you guys giving us your thoughts. It is beneficial. It gives us a lot of stuff to basically build episodes upon and make content moving forward. Because sometimes it's difficult coming up with ideas for these. It takes a bit of prep work. I mean, this is an hour-long episode, so talking for an hour about a particular topic, we got to make sure we've got that information. And of course, if it's something technical, we need to make sure that information is correct. There is a lot of back and forth, he said this, she did that kind of thing. I don't know what I'm talking about stuff on the internet. So when you come here to our channel, we talk about a topic. I want to make sure that you're getting 100% accurate information, because hopefully you'll take something here and then apply it, and hopefully that'll make your experience in the hobby better or easier or whatever it was. I don't want to hear, oh, I think this or I think that because I haven't done it, but this or that. It's like, no. I want to speak from authority, from experience, and, hopefully that will help other people advance in the hobby. And that's ultimately all that we want to do here, is just educate people and excite them about the hobby, because we're passionate about it. and get more people into it and make your experience better. So that's what we plan to do with our products, but that's also ultimately the fundamental roots. That's just what we want to do in general. So yeah, that's kind of been the whole plan of the What's Up Webcast from the beginning. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I know our viewers have definitely kicked up live, but we definitely want to make it bigger, badder, and a lot more involved moving forward with a lot of cool episodes. So, like I said earlier, this episode might be a little bit short, but like I said earlier, if you really like the channel, subscribe to it. It benefits by, helping us seeing who's from where and knowing that we're providing good information for you guys. So if you like the channel and you want to stay informed on future topics, future episodes, go ahead and subscribe. We have a lot of plans for next year to release, support videos about how to do certain things with our products that aren't part of the webcast, but we will post them on our YouTube channel. So if there's stuff like that, if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll get notifications when those informative videos start being released, hopefully sometime next year, covering a lot of the typical questions people ask, like polar alignment, or setting up a telescope, or collimation, or things like that. Maybe cleaning optics, we'll do a video, but things that we probably don't need to do a whole episode on, but are still helpful. We're planning to release some of those videos hopefully sometime next year on this channel. So if you like it and you're subscribed, you'll get notifications that that's coming. I know next year we've talked about doing giveaways during the webcasts. That's just kind of a basic little chat right now, but I know it's something we'd like to consider doing next year as well. So just an FYI of that. So again, if you like the channel, subscribe to it. Helps us out. If you want us to cover a topic that maybe we didn't do, or you have questions on it, you can email us at support@skywatcherusa.com. Just title it What's Up. And of course, if you just have questions about our products and things like that, you can always call us or email us as well. And we'll be happy to work with you on whatever questions you might have as well. So, we try to make sure that we're here for whatever you guys need. We're astronomers too, so I definitely know where you guys are coming from when you're asking questions. So again, if you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe to that as well. Now, next week, like I said, is our final episode of the year. We will be closed for obviously Christmas and for New Year's. Those 2 Fridays will not have any webcast. We'll basically have a 2-week window where there's no webcast going on. Don't forget us. Come back. We will be back on, the 8th. January 8th is going to be the first episode of the 2020 run. 2021 series. So definitely join us on that. But next week is our final episode, the 34th episode of the year. We're sitting down with Jeff Simon, who's the director of Skywatcher North America, my boss, who basically allows us to sit here and do all of this crazy stuff. So Jeff will be on next week. We'll be talking about Skywatcher, like where it started, where it's come from, and then our plans into the future, because we've got a lot of cool stuff as well. So Jeff will be here. If you want to grill him with all kinds of questions, feel free. I know he's watching right now, so I will gladly throw him under the bus. But he'll be here talking with me next week, so that'll be kind of fun to wrap up what Skywatcher's been up to and what we plan to do as a company moving forward next year. So that's going to be there as well. I know we're kind of getting to the end of the episode, so if you have any questions for me, go ahead and throw those in the chat. If you have any questions in general, again, throw those in the chat. I'll try to get to them. This episode might be a little shorter today. But so next week, join us. Last episode of 2020 with my boss, Jeff Simon, director of Skywatcher North America. That'll be the 34th fourth and final episode of 2020. And then January 8th is when we're going to kick off into 2021 with What's Up for January. Of course, before we go, it is New Moon weekend, so nice dark skies. It's the Geminid meteor shower this weekend, so go out, get your telescopes out if you can. Get away, shut the news off. Go do something for yourself out there in the nice dark skies with your equipment. So that'll be great. We're not far from the Great Conjunction as well, so be prepared for that. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Today is really more of just a casual, informative episode of what's going on into 2021. We've got a lot of big plans. We've got a lot of cool people scheduled. Lots of topics to talk about. But ultimately, we're glad you guys have been here with us for 2020. Again, this year's been really weird, but hopefully our webcast has been something fun to look forward to on Fridays. So that's been kind of a fun thing. So appreciate everybody who's been watching. If you're new, welcome. And we hope to see you next year as well. And again, if you guys wanted to know again what webcast, or not even the webcast, this is the Skywatcher shirts at this point. Let me get my face out of here. But again, before we leave, skywatcher.threadless.com. These are all the new shirts that are now available for sale now through there. And we'll try to link that into social media at this point. So something different there. Let's see. Another suggestion: chat with folks at NOAA Space Weather Prediction. That's a good one. That's kind of cool. Maybe create a separate Skywatcher product specific channel for Q&A and specs. That's a cool idea. We'll have to take a look at that as well. It's a lot of work to do these webcasts, so I can't even imagine running a separate channel. But something to take a look at there. So, but yeah, again, hopefully you guys have really enjoyed the webcast. Hopefully it's been informative. Hopefully you've learned some stuff. And we really look forward to continuing this into 2021 and bringing you guys along with us once again as the world hopefully returns to normal and we can get out and start doing some cool things and dragging you guys with us. So that's really all I have for this week. It's kind of a short episode, but again, I appreciate you guys being here. If you have any questions, throw them up there. If not, we'll be capping this episode and finishing it up. But I think we're good to go. So again, thank you guys all for watching. Appreciate your time being here. Thanks for watching. If you've only watched a couple episodes, thanks. If you've been here for all 34 for the year, thanks again. And again, we will see you guys next week for the final What's Up webcast of 2020 with Jeff Simon from Skywatcher North America. And other than that, have a safe weekend, and we will see you guys next week. So have a good new moon weekend. Stay safe, clear skies, and take care.